I met Elvis in 1957. I was on Top 10 Dance Party on WHBQ radio television in Memphis at the time. And it was a popular dance show that they had every Saturday afternoon. The teenagers would come and dance, and Wink Martindale and I would introduce the songs and the people and the children and the teenagers that were there. And he watched that show a lot. And one Saturday after the show, he had Lamar Fike call me on the phone, and he wanted a date to see me that night.
You know that I'll always be.
He had just made Loving You when I met him. And he had this shirt on, these black trousers, and I think he had like a motorcycle cap on, and he was very handsome. I mean, I have to say that Elvis was the most handsome man I've ever seen, before or after. I've never seen anybody as handsome as he. He was just very good looking, you know. And then as I got to meet him and know him, he had a very good personality. Funny, pulling pranks and laughing. When they drove up in the Cadillac, they had a big, long Cadillac, and Elvis was driving. So I got in the car and sat on my side of the seat, because in those days, that's what you did. And so then Elvis started driving around, and after a while, he said, are you trying to knock that door out over there? And I said, no, so let's go over just a little bit. Not very far, but just a little bit. And we would go to his house many times, and we would watch TV, listen to music. He would invite the people up from down at the gate, which were a bunch of fans, crazy girls, you know. And here I was up here, his date, and these girls were just, man, they were falling all over him, wanting to sit in his lap and everything. I really did not like that, because I was his date. I had a hard time with that. He was so secretive back in those days. And he always said it was because of Colonel Tom Parker, you know. He didn't want us to take any pictures, and if I was ever with him and there was a picture made, I would look down or try to look away, you know, from the camera, and not to appear to be too happy, because he didn't want everybody to know our real relationship, you know, that we really cared for one another. He wanted to be more like, well, we're just girlfriend and boyfriend, and we're just dating. And then he would always come to me and say, but Little, you know, that's not really true. You're just the only one for me. You know, these are just publicity stunts. It doesn't mean anything. You're the only one I care anything about. And he had a way that he could convince you that's true, I'm telling you. On the grounds at Graceland, they would have Roman candle fights in the backyard that were just scary as everything at each other. I mean, they had no fear, Elvis included, right in the middle of them. Oh, man, and we sat and watched this, fighting with each other, at each other, you know, with these Roman candles, right at each other, man. Sometimes we would get on the motorcycle, just Elvis and I, and ride through Memphis. These are things we did here. And then when he went to New Orleans for King Crow, you know, he would always invite me down there for a spell, and in California for a spell. The first time I went out there, he was staying at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, I believe. And I remember Ricky Nelson came up one night, and some other people, but I do remember him. But even in California, we did a lot of driving around. It was wild. He thought, as I thought, that things that went on out there were things that went on in hell. I mean, really, it was just the wildest place we'd ever seen. He wanted his family and his friends around him. He felt a stranger. He just loved Memphis better. He liked being in Graceland.
1957 was a pivotal year for Elvis Presley. In April, All Shook Up reached #1 on Billboard's Top 100 chart. In October, Jailhouse Rock premiered in Memphis to a sold-out crowd.
Everybody in the wholesale block was dancing to the Jailhouse Rock.
And in December, Elvis received his draft notice from the United States Army. It was a change that would jeopardize his career and affect his life forever. No one took that news harder than Elvis's mother, Gladys.
I remember them getting the notice, and I remember his mother's reaction. She was devastated, scared. sad. Many weekends when Elvis would have time away from Fort Hood, we would drive over to Eddie Fidel's house in Waco, Texas. And they were so nice, and they just loved Elvis, and they just had a room there that they dedicated to him, and that he could go and just do anything he wanted to do. I remember one time we went there, and they had a birthday cake. I think it might have been my birthday. It was in May. And they sang the song, and I got him to dance with me. You know, he didn't like to dance. But he was singing that song, Happy Birthday, Baby, Happy, Happy Birthday. They would always fix good food for us to eat and things that Elvis liked. It was just a place to get away from the army.
While visiting Elvis at his hotel, Anita stumbled across a memento from Germany.
I found one letter when I was in California, and it was pressed in a book in the library outside of his bedroom. And when he came home from the set that day, then that's when I asked him about the letter. And in the letter it said, "Please call my dad. I want to come over there, and if you call my dad, I know he will let me come. He will listen to you. I miss you. I want to come bad." He just kept on like that, you know? So when he came in, I said, "What is this letter? Who is this? This Priscilla? You said she was just a child." He got so mad because I found the letter. He took me and he shoved me up against the closet. So mad at me, just livid. And as I was coming down the back stairs into the kitchen, I heard Elvis say, "I'm having the hardest time making up my mind between the two." And so I just marched my little self right down those stairs, and Elvis took me into the dining room, and we sat down at the table, and I said, "I'm going to make that decision for you. I heard what you said, and I'm leaving." And I remember that I started crying. It was a very difficult decision to make. And I was crying, and Elvis was crying, and he just said, "I pray to God I'm doing the right thing by letting you go."
Well, I'm not so sure you think so.
No, well, I do. I think you're cute, too.
Well, do you have a girlfriend out there?
Do I have?
Yes.
Uh-uh.
Well, I mean, do you have a special one? I know you have several.
Oh, hell, let me see.
I'm not getting mad about it. There you go, getting mad.
I'm not.
Well, I'm not being silly, Elvis. I mean, that's just...
I don't have any.
Let's just face it.
I don't have any.
You mean you don't go out with a single girl out there?
No.
Why, Elvis, I'm surprised at you.
I don't.
I thought you liked girls.
I do.
Well, why don't you go out with them?
Okay.
Well, you do anyway.
I just haven't.
There's one thing that I just can't stand. You know what that is?
What?
For you to tell me a story about something.
Well,
You're always getting to me about telling you stories.
I know, but you tell me more than I do.
That's not true. My goodness. Elvis, I've caught you in so many, it's awful.
Oh, hell.
I have. And the least thing if I were you, I would admit to dating people because I know you are. And it would make me feel so much better if you told me about them. And then I wouldn't feel like there was anything there.
You know why I don't call you more than I do?
Mm-mm.
For this very reason right here.
Well, I wouldn't do it if you call you more.
For this very reason right here, because I can't talk to you, hon.
I wouldn't do
That's
it.
my damn head, man. I mean, I can't count on decent conversation. You start throwing up all kind of shit to me.
Listen, Elvis, if you call me...
Look, if I called you every damn night, you start bitching about some girl.
That's a story, because I wouldn't think there was any girl
Look,
there.
you're just fucking nag, that's all. You're just a nagger, that's all.
I'm sorry you feel that way about it, but
Well, that's the way I feel about it, and you don't have to be that way either.
well, that's the way I am.
Not to the extent that you are. You don't have to be that bad.
I'm sorry you feel that way
Well,
about
I
it.
know you're going to start throwing something up to me. And I ain't got time to hear it. You turn me into a sod drunkard. You know that?
You mean by just fussing at you?
Yeah, all the time. You would, because I can't stand it. I can't stand it, Anita. I swear I can't stand it.
Well, if you'd call me and do right, I wouldn't.
I call you and do right my ass.
No, you don't.
Call you and do right my ass. If I called you every night and you start saying, "Who'd you see today?"
That's a lie.
You got a girlfriend? I'm surprised. You said that bullshit.
That is a lie.
Oh, it ain't no lie.
This is the first time I've second time I've even brought it up.
Oh, you bring it up every time I talk to you.
You've talked to me so many times. Oh my goodness, I couldn't count my fingers and toes.
Well, it's all been about another week and a half or 10 days.
I know exactly how long it's been, Elvis.
You don't realize how long it'll be before I'll be home?
I know exactly how
How much hell for, huh? I'll be home and I'll be with you when it happens.
Well, you'll be with me.
Yeah. And what do you stop?
You know,
I'll call you. But why can't I talk to you over